So often we don't even see our gifts as a communal offering for more than just ourselves. Storytelling is a way for us to make meaning of the world because you're not getting more hours in the day. And so for me, I tend to have periods of the year that I write, periods of the year that I'm really going in on my fitness, periods of the year that I'm really going in on community building. We consume so much more than we create, and that's not accidental. We are constantly scrolling on our phones more than we're building and ideating and creating the things that we want to see out in the world, and we're numbing ourselves. And I think it's important to find time explicitly set to reset your creative self and to be in deep community with the greatest creator. Now, I don't consider myself to be particularly religious, although I was raised Baptist. But over the last year, I have been leaning into what I call seasons of my life. So I believe that for any successful person to be able to be successful, you have to cut up your year into chunks of seasons to be able to do all the things you want to do because you're not getting more hours in the day. And so for me, I tend to have periods of the year that I write, periods of the year that I'm really going in on my fitness, periods of the year that I'm really going in on community building. And while I am probably touching a little bit of this throughout the year, but these are like focused time areas specifically for writing for me because I find that I cannot write all year long. It becomes very overwhelming for me to do that for a long period of time. And so I have been explicitly finding time and seasons and dedicating and naming what those seasons are. And so we're coming into this season of Lent, which is something that I never really practiced previous to last year. I had a girlfriend who is Muslim and she practices Ramadan, and she invited me last year to practice with Ramadan with her, where we decided that we were going to do a no buy. She also fasted, but together we did no buy. And it went really successful for me. I was really able to not only save money, but think a lot about what I'm consuming, how I'm consuming it, and if I truly want the things that I'm consuming or if I'm being pushed by advertising. And so this year I'm doing something similar to that, but I'm also adding on this creative aspect. So for me, for this year, for Lent, which starts tomorrow, I am doing two things. One is my no buy, where I'm truly deciding to not buy anything that is not my essentials. So that's like hygiene products, that's food for myself and my family, the essential things that we must have to survive and live, but not buying some of the additional frill things. So, not buying clothes, not buying shoes or purses, not buying any of the additional things that I need. I will still be doing self-care. So I will still be getting my hair done. I will still get my nails done. But the additional adornment things or the additional things that you might just buy that you're not sure if you really want, I'm not buying. Instead, I'm going to have a notes app where I list out the things that I'm feeling compelled to buy, particularly if there's something that I saw because I saw an ad. And then at the end, I can make a decision about whether or not I want to buy those things or not. The second piece is the piece that I really hope that you be willing to join me with, which is my creative reset. So many times I think people think of Lent as this time of deep sacrifice, and I agree. But something that I got from Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way, which if you're not familiar with this book, this is a 12-week program where Julia Cameron provides a opportunity for artists, no matter how you define yourself as an artist, be that a writer, a sculptor, a painter, someone who does dance, moves their body in some way, however you see yourself as an artist, to reconnect with your art. In Julia Cameron's book, some people have aversions to it because they can find it to be a little bit hokey because she really does get into how she sees God and this higher spiritual path to higher creativity. And some pieces here really called to me. And she really said that God or spirit, the highest power, whatever you call the being that you believe in that created the world, is the ultimate creator. They created everything, literally from dust, from darkness. And if you look at the beauty of life, the flowers, the trees, the animals, people, the immaculate colors, the vibrancy, everything that we have, you see that if we are a part of Source and Source is the ultimate creator, then we also have the opportunity to be creators as well. And the ultimate creator also wants us to be in deep relationship around creativity. So there are a few passages that I want to just highlight and showcase that I feel like really is indicative of this. So Julia Cameron says, we could fantasize about art instead of doing the work. By not asking the great creator's help with our creativity and by not seeking the great creator's hand in our creativity, we could proceed to righteously ignore our creativity and never have to take the risk of fulfilling it. And I just think this is so true because if you don't take the risk, you won't get the reward, but you also get to continue to live in this like neutral state. And then she goes on to say the essential element in nurturing our creativity lies in nurturing ourselves. And so this is where I really get about like pouring into myself and my creativity during this time period of Lent. Through self-nurturance, we nurture our inner connection to the great creator. Through this connection, our creativity will unfold. Paths will appear for us. We need to trust the great creator and move out in faith. And then she repeats, the great creator has gifted us with creativity. Our gift back is to use it. And so I'm taking this Lent period as an opportunity to not just, I would say like, show what I'm not willing to do or to sacrifice, but also show what I'm willing to do, that I want to honor the gifts that the creator has given me. And so for me, that's writing. I am a little over 140 pages into a manuscript that I started about a year ago. And I went out of my writing season. I needed a break. I needed to take a step back from it. And now I want to really refocus on finishing this novel. And it's been interesting because typically when I'm deep in novel writing, I find that the characters are speaking to me, that we're in relationship with each other. And I haven't been finding that lately. But I know that creative self-discipline that I need means that I have to push through. So the first part of my 40 days of Lent, I need to finish the rest of the outline of the book. I'm doing deep outlining where I actually am like fully drafting out scenes as well as quotes and things that are happening in the story, because that way I can get the story to its fully finished form. And then I'm going to spend the rest of the time writing. And then my goal is to have a fully finished book by my birthday as a gift to myself. And then this last thing that I'm working on is just also in consuming less, is scrolling a lot less. So I purchased a brick which will silence apps on your phone so that you're not constantly mindless scrolling. And so during this time period, my plan is to have my phone bricked for the vast majority of the time to really just give myself an opportunity to eat and find the hours to create, because the hours are there. I'm just spending them on other things. And so just being explicit about that and that time is going to be important to me. And before I close, I want to read a short passage from one of my favorite books, which is Black Liturgies. This is by co-author Riley. And so these are prayers, poems, and meditations for Black folks around just a myriad of areas. But she has a specific piece on Lent that I wanted to leave folks with, and this is on solidarity. And this speaks to me because so often we don't even see our gifts as a communal offering for more than just ourselves. Storytelling is a way for us to make meaning of the world. It's also an opportunity to archive. It's also an opportunity to truth tell and ensure that our version of events, our understanding of reality gets to be recorded as well. And so she starts off with a quote from Bell Hooks that says, I'm often struck by the dangerous narcissism fostered by spiritual rhetoric that pays so much attention to individual self improvement and so little to the practice of love within the context of community. And so I really just see this as an opportunity of being in solidarity and being in community and having this offering of this story out, which is, truth telling for folks. So I'm just looking forward to doing these 40 days or so, and looking forward to seeing what I'm able to glean and create and the offering that I can give during this time. So thanks for joining me. And let me know down in the comments if you decide to go on this journey as well.